Brooklyn Independent Television.
Neighborhood Beat is made possible with generous underwriting support from the Brooklyn Cyclones. Tickets are on sale now. For information, 718-507-TIXX or on the web at brooklyncyclones.com. The Cyclones are Brooklyn.
Hello, and welcome to Neighborhood Beat, your passport to Brooklyn. I'm your host, Melanee Farrah, and today we're back in the neighborhoods of Boerum Hill, Cobble Hill, and Carroll Gardens. In this episode, we'll groove with the folks at Black Gold Records, then we'll visit 3 unique shops with special guest and blogger Tracy Hopkins, and chill out with a scoop from Blue Marble Ice Cream, before sampling kosher cuisine at Pardes Restaurant on Atlantic Avenue. Stay tuned. Where are Boerum Hill, Cobble Hill, and Carroll Gardens? Depends on who you ask. All 3 are considered to be a part of South Brooklyn, although technically they're located in the northeastern part of the borough. The term was created when this area was considered southern as compared with the Brooklyn Navy Yard. Most recently, this area has been marketed as BoCoCa by web designer Chris Brandstetter. Bo for Boerum Hill, Co for Cobble Hill, and Ca for Carroll Gardens. Some folks like it, some don't. Whatever we call it, we all agree it's a great place to live, work, and play. Black Gold Records is a coffee house that serves each cup fresh brew to order, a record shop that embraces the lost art of vinyl, and a boutique for unique antiques. It's a delight of taste, sight, and sound. We recently caught up with owners Summer and Jeff to learn more.
My name is Jeff Ogiba, and we are at Black Gold in Carroll Gardens, Brooklyn. Black Gold is a combination of a coffee shop, a record store, and an antique spot.
Coffee, records, and antiques are 3 things that we're passionate about. We're all vinyl collectors, we're all coffee lovers, and we all like to collect weird things for our walls. It's the first harebrained scheme I've ever had that really stuck, and it worked.
I got involved with buying and selling records as a last stop on my obsessive collecting, which started with baseball cards, then went to comic books, then action figures, then pop culture stuff. The main thing I love about records is the fact I get to enjoy the artwork. I get to hear the music in a fuller, bigger, more real sound. We run the turntable for most of the hours we're open, and we'll do anything from the early morning shifts. We'll get it going with like some old boogie or disco, and we'll go all the way to rock and roll late at night to keep people excited. Our new music comes from distributors. Our used music you can't really call a used record warehouse. We answer calls, ads, or walk-ins, as well as flea markets, stoop sales, estate sales. We just always have our eye out, and I have a bag that fits records, and it always has records in it. We all come from a rock and roll background, which is where we essentially branched out from, to punk rock, to hardcore music, to experimental music, then to jazz, blues, garage. We also do soul, funk, hip-hop.
That took a while for us to come up with the name Black Gold. We definitely toyed with a lot of names. I think it was like Black Diamond for a while. And then Black Gold, as soon as we said it out loud, it was like, that's it. Black vinyl records, gold records. People call coffee Black Gold. We think of like the oil rush, the gold rush kind of era. And it just kind of all brought everything together and made sense. And here at Black Gold Records, we sell fraternal order items. This is an Oddfellows ceremonial apron. This is also Oddfellows, a ceremonial mesh mask with real hair eyebrows. That should be part of every collector's home. They're always fun to wear for whatever purposes you'd like. We also sell a lot of taxidermy. This is actually a 19th century in a glass dome, some beautiful squirrels. There's a little dude peeking out at the bottom there. We're always looking for unique pieces. These are some interesting hand-painted game boards. These are always popular. We have a lot of stuff from the 19th century, vintage taxidermy, and just kind of oddball things that catch our eyes. Seek out things that we find are interesting, something we'd hang on our own wall at home. When people walk by and they see this place, I think first the aroma of coffee wafts out. It's like a cartoon. I feel like sometimes people, they follow their nose in. Sometimes they have no idea it's actually a record and antique store too, or they heard it's a record store and they didn't know we had coffee. It's nice to offer so many things to bring people in. The coffee we use is it's roasted by Rook Coffee Roasters in Oakhurst, New Jersey. I grew up with one of the founders. Their coffee was the best. We came up with our own blend, the Black Gold blend. People love it, and it's nice to have something different in the neighborhood.
The choice for the neighborhood was Summer's choice, basically. She lives down the street from here. She had her eye on the area for a while. It was abandoned only a few years ago.
Dan and I had a friend here that we started hanging out with, and we were like, man, this neighborhood is awesome.
There was just some sort of spark in it where we saw there was a subway station, the highway, there's just growth that keeps extending its way down Court Street.
When we first got this location, there really wasn't much going on down here. Frankie's was there, Prime Meats had just opened, and they're awesome neighbors to have. Literally, it seemed like overnight there was a renaissance in this part of the neighborhood. Court Street grocers started to open, and people used to say they never ventured past 4th Place. I've heard that from so many people.
Being in this neighborhood definitely worked out for us because it is a neighborhood that is accepting this kind of renaissance of these new businesses and these friendly people who are working together to build some sort of new era of community, I'd say.
What kind of fun things can you get into in Boerum Hill and Gowanus? Check this out. In Gowanus, you can go to the Bell House for live music. You can visit Michael and Ping's for fresh gourmet Chinese food, and then go next door to 4 and 20 Blackbirds for a delicious slice of pie. You can also get your own beer making kit from Brooklyn Homebrew. In Boerum Hill, you can learn to make your own boots from designer Olivier Rabath and feast on delicious Spanish cuisine at La Flor del Paraíso. In Carroll Gardens, you can get an old-fashioned egg cream or root beer float at Brooklyn Pharmacy and Soda Fountain. And in Cobble Hill, you can get your fresh meats cut to order at the old-school Los Paisanos Meat Market. There are also plenty of annual events to round out your experience, including the BoCoCa Festival, the Bastille Day celebrations on Smith Street, and of course, the ever-popular Atlantic Antic Festival. Phew, that was a lot. So come on down and check us out. You won't be disappointed. Now we're going to hand it over to Tracy Hopkins, neighborhood blogger and local resident, for the latest places around town.
I'm Tracy Hopkins with EverythingSheWants.net. Today I'm taking you to 3 women-owned stores, which are a great place to find locally sourced gifts. First up is By Brooklyn.
By Brooklyn is a small specialty boutique that only and exclusively sells products made in Brooklyn. And those products range from pickles and jewelry to t-shirts and soap, almost like a Brooklyn variety store. The motivation is to support the artisan community. I'm friends with a lot of people who are creating wonderful products, and I just thought that it would be a great outlet to have something that's a permanent store that can be open 7 days a week, where people can have the opportunity to sell their products. And Brooklyn specifically, because there is just such an incredible creative movement going on now, but it's also, Brooklyn has a very strong history of manufacturing, and that hasn't changed. The products I sell include Manhattan Special Soda, which has been made in Brooklyn for over 100 years, next to ginger ale that just started being made in Brooklyn a couple years ago. So this is the Morris Kitchen ginger syrup made by a woman, Kari Morris, and it's the most popular item in the store. And I have people who come in once every 3 or 4 weeks and buy 3 or 4 bottles of it. That's how addictive it is. The quirkiest item, I would probably say, is our tooth vessel that's made by Brooklyn Rehab.
And what do you do with these?
Well, that's always the question.
So you
can do whatever you want. I've been able to work closely with my vendors and come up with ideas for products and watch those ideas work, and it's great to be able to collaborate that way. I have people who come in shopping for their grandchildren. I have people coming in shopping for their mothers, friends, housewarming gifts, wedding gifts. It's just a huge, wonderful variety of product for the Brooklyn community. The community has been tremendously supportive. People have just been extremely proud to shop local and to shop Brooklyn.
Next up is Oh My Heavenly Hair.
Oh My Heavenly Hair is natural, vegan, and organic products for your hair and skin. I have been doing natural hair for over 20 years, and I wanted to be able to supply my customers with quality products, and that inspired me to create the line. The hair bath and body oil is really a very potent oil. It has a combination of 7 different oils. It is a skin conditioner that can be used, as the name says, for your hair, your bath, and your body. The wonderful thing about this candle is that not only can you use it in this traditional sense, that since you're home, you can also put it directly on your skin. And it really acts as a cream. It moisturizes the skin and it leaves your skin with a beautiful radiant glow.
If you have natural hair, the Red Room Luxe Salon is a great place to get your hair done.
You can get any type of hair styling, braids, twist, locks. You can even have a blow dry bar that can offer straight styling, again, no chemicals. I focus on the hair because that's what people listen to, but it also gives me an opportunity to have them not only focus on the hair, but on their skin. And then if I can get them to focus on their skin, maybe I can help them change their diet. And so, you know, this is really very important to me because it affords me an opportunity to help people be healthier. I like to say that Oh My Heavenly Hair can take care of you from your hair to your toe. So, yeah.
Our last stop is Written by Forrest.
I originally wanted to find the place for my jewelry studio to make jewelry, and I found this place and I thought it would be even better to, you know, be able to meet customers at the store and I can make jewelry at the same time. So I started this and then I added some other designers. I was born in Osaka, Japan, and there was a tiny forest near my house, and I was always playing in the forest, and I found that the branches and the flowers. So that kind of nature is my inspiration.
And where does the written part come from?
A written part is, I thought, you know, having a store is like editing. So I like writing, so I thought it's not, you know, like it's like editing the taste. Let me see. Yeah, Pluto Pass. This one, let me see. Yeah, this is very nice one.
Yeah,
Labrador.
like Peruvian opal.
My jewelry is very handmade. Everything, all the process is by hand. So that's how, you know, I picked some jewelry designers, and also all the jewelry designers in here are all New York based, mostly Brooklyn.
Is that a Brooklyn-based designer?
Yeah, she actually moved to Dumbo, yeah. The wedding bands, engagement rings are definitely something, you know, very important at this store. But also something like $50, small tiny stars for birthday presents. And this one is staring oxidized silver and 2 diamonds. I live in this neighborhood and I love this place. I love there are a lot of families here, and it's more like a grown-up place compared to other Brooklyn areas. And you know, jewelry is related to a life, you know, having a boyfriend, girlfriend, and then getting married, and then having a baby. And you know, you need jewelry in your life. So I thought this would be the perfect place.
So those were our 3 stops. I hope I inspired a little local retail therapy. For more fashion and shopping tips, check out everythingshewants.net. See you next time.
Okay, who doesn't love ice cream? But why settle for a freezer-frosted pint of the typical stuff when you can indulge at Blue Marble? Creators Alexis and Jenny put an organic, eco-friendly, green energy spin on this everyday treat. With unique flavors like maple, green tea, and pumpkin, who can resist? Let's go in and get a scoop.
My name is Alexis Meeson, and I am the co-owner of Blue Marble Ice Cream. Blue Marble Ice Cream is, we like to think, an experience. You come in and everything from the scoopers behind the counter to the ice cream that you get in your cup or your bowl is a very kind of special moment, a special experience. We are very proud to be the only certified organic ice cream store in all of New York City, and we like to think our ice cream is also the best. We are based here in Brooklyn. We're founded here in Brooklyn. We'll soon be making our foray into Manhattan, but we're very much kind of a Brooklyn brand and very proud to call Brooklyn our home. The name Blue Marble is actually very significant. We borrowed it from the nickname for planet Earth. In all that we do, we try to kind of be respectful of the earth and the landscapes and the people and the resources around us. From the very beginning, we started using spoons made of corn plastic. The cold cups are made of corn plastic. Our bowls are made of sugarcane. We use reclaimed wood. The wood that you're seeing around us is actually from the set of a play. I tell you what, every time I'm like, our ice cream is so good. It's hard to pat myself on the back, but it's really good ice cream. The flavors you'll find at Blue Marble are very simple, and that is by design. We keep things classic, straightforward, very pure. We refer to our flavors as elemental, so you find ginger and coffee and chocolate and sweet cream and cinnamon and all these things that really just come from nature. All of our flavors are very elemental. You won't see a lot of candies, cookies, cakes, all that stuff kind of crammed into our scoops. Frankly, because you don't need them. When ice cream is as delicious as ours is, you can let nature speak for itself, and that's plenty. Back in 2009, my business partner had the great fortune of meeting a woman named Kiki, who was from Rwanda. And when she met Jenny and learned that Jenny owned an ice cream shop, this light bulb went off for her. And she said to Jenny, "Would you come to my community in Rwanda and work with this group of women there to help them open their own ice cream shop?" It came as a real surprise, like she wasn't quite sure why this woman thought that an ice cream shop would be so helpful or so important in her community. We soon learned why. We all know what happened in 1994, this kind of unspeakable genocide, and even though it was several years ago now, the people there are still very much kind of working through the grieving process and working through the processes of coming back together and building cohesive communities again. And so she thought perhaps if her town had an ice cream shop, people could come together from all these different groups and just put all of that aside for the moment and just enjoy. When I moved to Brooklyn back in 2006, I moved to Cobble Hill, and I was immediately attracted to the Court Street, Carroll Gardens area. It's just got such a kind of a thriving kind of Main Street kind of feel. There are so many families, and we're a very, very family-focused kind of business. I think in this day and age, consumers are so informed, and they're getting so much more connected to their food and to the various products that they buy, and so they're really seeking out goods, items, services even that really speak to them, that they can relate to, that they can understand. I think it's very hard for the bigger corporations to produce that in a very genuine way. So really it's the mom and pops, or the mom and moms, as I like to say, because we're female business owners here, to provide that experience. 7 months after opening our first shop, we opened our second. That was in 2008. In 2010, we opened this shop in Cobble Hill. We also have several kind of seasonal outposts at the Brooklyn Flea in Smorgasburg, Summer Stage at Central Park, and at Brooklyn Bridge Park. We also have a somewhat small but very quickly growing wholesale division. So we sell our pints in Whole Foods and Union Market and a number of other kind of retailers across the city. And we sell our bulk tubs to scoop shops and restaurants and catering companies and all sorts of food and service establishments around the cities. We really see ourselves as the next Haagen-Dazs or Ben & Jerry's. They've been around a long time and they both make great products, but I think it's time for a new king or queen in the ice cream universe. And I think more and more people are looking towards organics, especially with dairy. And kind of globally, we would love to replicate the Sweet Dreams model in other communities. So, as I said, we're dreaming big and hope to kind of fulfill more of those dreams soon.
Chef Moshe Wendell and his wife Shayna opened Pardes on Atlantic Avenue, a restaurant specializing in Mediterranean kosher cuisine. The menu changes often, and fresh meats and vegetables are served up in unexpected ways.
My name is Moshe Wendell, and I'm a cook. We're at Pardes Restaurant. It's a restaurant that I opened my wife 2 years ago. We're a kosher, progressive French restaurant.
We've been in the business together for a long time. Me in the front of the house, my husband in the back of the house. There wasn't any kosher restaurants where he could really express himself. We just really had to do it ourselves. I didn't plan on being in the restaurant business in the beginning. The only way it was going to work, and it works.
Glatt kosher is it's the kind of kosher that we are. We're like at a pretty high level of kosher standard, which is pretty much acceptable to everybody. And as far as the food, we cook food with forward-thinking French technique, using seasonal ingredients, but we try and have fun with it too. It's not like a stuffy place. This is more of a casual atmosphere.
Today we're at Pardes and we'll be making tuna tartare. Now, we're ready to get started. What do we do first?
First, we're going to start with beautiful fresh tuna that we got today.
Okay.
Some beautiful fresh watermelon. We're going to be tossing it with some mint and some basil. A little bit of a vinaigrette that we make here from Meyer lemon, coconut milk, a little bit of mayonnaise, some mustard and some vanilla. We're going to toss it with some coarse salt. And we're also going to use in the plate a puree of avocado, some bonito that we've cured ourselves in-house, which we kind of cure and smoke. We're going to finish it with a watermelon granita.
Sounds good.
So we're just going to dress the tuna and the watermelon with this, a little bit in each one, a tiny bit, not too much.
Got it? All right, just a little bit. Tell me about that avocado.
Oh, so the avocado puree, it's coconut milk, basil, a little bit of sugar and salt, and a little bit of oil. So we're going to mix it.
So
we're going to put a little bit of coarse salt in here.
Okay.
All right.
We're gonna... It looks delicious already.
So we start with the ring mold here. You're going to
Okay.
tip the watermelon first. So now we're just going to pack it down a little bit.
Okay.
All right. All right.
So now we're going to load our tuna.
Yep, all right. All right, now we're going to load it in here like this.
Okay.
All right. Right, now we're going to move our ring mold over here.
Okay.
All right, and now we're going to do the same thing over again.
Okay.
All right, now we're just going to do some really nice, beautiful dollops of this avocado puree on here.
Okay. We're doing a dollop.
That's it. That's it. All right, enough.
Ah!
Thank the good Lord.
Okay.
All right, now we're going to do some of this bonito here that we have.
Right.
All right, you shave it very thin. All right, now you can kind of grab some too. We've got this watermelon granita, watermelon with some sugar and citrus in it.
Sounds delicious.
All right, so now we're just going to take some random chunks.
Okay, there you have it. Tuna tartare.
My husband and I, we met at a bar in Philadelphia. It was love at first sight. Been together ever since. So, even working together, the relationship just gets better and better. So.
Orthodox Jewish law says you have to be apart like the week before the wedding, so we actually became like religious together, everything. This really big, long kind of path we traveled together, but we really were never apart until then, the week before our wedding. So we always just really clicked, and that was it.
Slowly we figured out, we weren't going to be able to, be kosher and have him be stay in the business. Just not a lot of the hall for kosher restaurants in Philadelphia.
We'd opened this place the idea of doing more steak and burger kind of place, and then slowly but surely the demand for the more interesting stuff kind of took over.
My husband particularly enjoys one of their staples. He loves their braised beef bacon club. And I tried the beef cheek pizza for the first time last time we were here, and I loved it.
So it kind of created a quirky restaurant that we have, like a big hamburger that we serve that people are into, and a beef cheek pizza that people are into. And we also do a tasting menu that's like 12 courses, And I think that's one of the pluses of our restaurant, though, is that we have the ability to kind of feed both people. This is our pastured brined beef tongue. These are really beautiful beef tongues that we get from our friends at Grow and Behold. Steam like basically one or so every day. And this is the end result after you steam it. This one just came out. I'm gonna cut a couple of pieces from both sides of the tongue, okay? Right out in our salamander. And it's gonna be like warm and crispy. We have these, our smoked egg yolks. We're also gonna be using green olives, raisins that we plumped in balsamic vinegar, some capers, and nutmeg. And on the plate, we're gonna finish it with some additional olive oil. We put a little olive oil inside before we plate it. Well, some upland cress here. I'm gonna kind of assemble it all together now. So you see we have our tongue here. We got it hot and crispy. This is a little purple potato as well. Place the tongue on the plate, nice and randomly. Take our egg. Gotta make sure it's nice and loose. Potato. Got even more beautiful upland cress over here. Up next, we're gonna do a roasted duck breast. We take them and we cook them very slowly in a water bath. And this one we actually take the bone out to cook it, but there's a reason for that. What we wanna do is we wanna confit it. cure them overnight in like a salt and brown sugar mixture, and then we smoke them a couple of times, and then we wrap them in a very tight plastic and aluminum sort of package. At Pardes, we really try and we do this food. It has multiple elements to the plate, but we kind of treat things simply. We try and get the opportunity to do things fresh every day, unless we're making an attempt to preserve it, you know? So there's a beautiful rhubarb jam. It's just rhubarb and sugar, that's it. These are a savarin cake. It's basically, like a traditional dessert cake. We just lower the sugar a little bit in it. And instead of using all flour, we use some cornmeal as well. This is the leg we use for the duck dish. We trim the ends up a little bit on it, and then we just sort of randomly place it on the plate. And then these are sugar snack peas. Saute those with some salt, puree of mint, and jalapeno. We're gonna take our duck, okay? And we're gonna kind of place a larger chunk of breast over here. We're gonna take our peas and just sort of randomly place them. Now we've got some really nice shaved raw rhubarb here. And then we have some more beautiful micro basil we're using before. All right, that's what the finished duck looks like. And then we have our sauce that we serve with it.
Well, that does it for this episode of Neighborhood Beat. I hope my visits will encourage you to check out these neighborhoods for yourself. To learn more about us and to watch past episodes, check us out on brickartsmedia.org/BIT. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter using the keyword BK Independent TV. Now, we'll see you next time in Brooklyn.
Neighborhood Beat is made possible.
Watch this and other Brooklyn Independent Television episodes online at brickartsmedia.org/BIT.